Hey folks, welcome back to the Cotswold Collectibles YouTube channel. I'm Greg Brown, owner of Cotswold Collectibles. This week I wanted to talk about a line that we've been carrying for some time, Captain Cosmos out of France. If you're not familiar with Captain Cosmos, his name is Wilfred Gauthier, and he has been kind of like the person leading the charge in carrying on the tradition of the Group Action Joe line. If you're not familiar with Group Action Joe, that was the name of the G.I. Joe line as it was in France. A lot of the sets are, I would say they're a little bit of G.I. Joe, a little bit of Action Man, and such like that. They're more in the 70s into the 80s. I'm not very familiar. I probably need to bring Ace Allgood back to talk about this in greater detail as far as the Group Action Joe. But today, like I said, I'm going to talk about Captain Cosmos and their line, which they call Aventure Joe. I'm probably butchering the French language on this. I apologize. These are the three of the latest examples that we have been that we just started carrying from them. Two of them are USMC based, and then one of them is an homage to Tom Stone. If you're familiar with Action Man, you're familiar with Tom Stone, which was we called him the adventurer. They called him Tom Stone. I don't know why they gave them names, but that was their deal. And the original one that came out from Action Man, he had a camouflage shirt and pants that was very reminiscent of the Land Adventurer. He came with a green beret. He came with boots, and he also came with a H&K submachine gun. Adventure Joe, Captain Cosmos, they're doing their own iteration. Theirs comes with their standard box that you see. And if you're familiar with Adventure Joe, most of their sets do not come with figures. They are just a uniform set. Now, these, when released in France at Captain Cosmos, they do come with figures, but they're the muscle body figures that he has a small run of. We don't yet have access to those muscle bodies, so we asked him, can you just send us the uniform sets, which they did. We do hope to carry their muscle body series that they do, because not only do they do a Caucasian muscle body and an African-American muscle body, but they also do an Indian muscle body. And when I say Indian, it's Native American Indian, because they did a line of cowboys and Indians in Wild West. So let's take a look at this set, though. Packaging. Classic Tom Stone. It looks almost exactly like the one from Action Man. This one is a little bit different, and you'll see why here in a minute. Now, each one of these, you'll notice that the uniform is not your classic Land Adventurer style camouflage. This one, it's a little bit of a silkier fabric, whereas the other one is like a twill. And the pattern is more like the World War II USMC frog camouflage pattern. It's still tailored in like the 1970s, early 1980s style, where the pockets are simpler in design, thinner material, such like that. But it was still very reminiscent of what you would be seeing from Action Man and from Group Action Joe at the time. The reason that they use this is because one of the other USMC sets uses the same camouflage. So it only makes sense that they would use this, because the World War II USMC frog camouflage is very similar to camouflage that was used by the Land Adventurer. And it's a pattern you see commonplace throughout Adventure Team and Action Man and Guy Per Man and such like that. So the other piece that they have is the MP5 with the rubberized sling. This one is pretty much a direct reproduction of what you would see from the 1970s from Action Man, and as well as Group Action Joe. So that's a very nice reproduction. The boots are pretty standard, black boots, left and right, short, that you put with the figure. And then you get the beret. Now this is the late version beret. Some people are familiar with the beret that came with the green beret for G.I. Joe and for Action Man, but then later models utilize this. You see these more commonly in late version Action Man, Guy Per Man, and Group Action Joe, and then this one has the particular type of bird flash that you would have seen on the Tom Stone figure set. So it's a very good homage to the series. I don't think that Group Action Joe ever made of Tombstone, but it's a very good homage to the series nonetheless. Next, we're going to take a look at the USMC sets. Both sets have a very generic open window package. On the back of it, it has the version 1, which is like the plain version. This is the camouflage version, which we'll talk about in a minute. It has the same design. But what's really good with this is once you put it on a figure and you put it in the display, if you want to put it into the display, it displays it quite well. All their boxes are very well designed, very sturdy. They're not made out of cheap material. And the same goes for the uniforms themselves. So let's take a look at the version 1. First off the bat are the boots. These are their boots. These are not the boots that we manufacture. They're manufacturing their boots all on their own now. So you have your short brown boots, very well made. Then they have the webbing that you probably are familiar with. These are manufactured by Captain Cosmos as well. These are based upon the late 70s, early 80s Action Man. It came with the Para, US Airborne, it came with the Marine, it came with the Army Soldier. It has their own canteen. It has, I think the bayonet is actually from Cotswold, but you have that. Then, this is a new item. This is their Thompson submachine gun. I'm not an expert on this, but I know that this is not based on the Action Man Thompson submachine gun. It was a little bit of a different variety. It was a little bit thicker stock and such like that. Maybe this was manufactured as a piece from Group Action Joe. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm not an expert. Nonetheless, it is very well made. It is made in the same style as the later ones that came with, instead of an elastic sling, they came with a rubberized sling. So very nice piece, very nice addition. The next piece in the set is the helmet. This is also manufactured by Group Action Joe. It is the later version. This is actually a paratrooper helmet, which is kind of interesting. Hopefully this is a precursor that they're actually going to try to do the airborne figure, the US Airborne figure. But you put it around the head, plug it in right there, and you've got the chin strap. And that's generally the indicator right there, is that chin strap is generally a US Airborne style helmet. Not sure why it came with this set. Maybe that's how they made them. But again, it's a good set nonetheless. The shirt and pants are very interesting though. It's in very much the style of the Group Action Joe. It's a thinner fabric. This one reminds me a lot of the USMC that Action Man made, same type of material. Very simple design in the pocket. USMC insignia, you got your chevrons on the arms, the buttons, pants are simple in design, blocky patches in the back. This is not a substandard piece. This is made actually what it looked like back in the time. Now, the interesting choice that they gave these is they gave these guys spats, and these are spats, also known. I call them spats. Some people call them leggings. Some people call them gamashin. But these basically, I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to give it to where it looks like a USMC figure from World War II that actually had leggings. But they're done in a cream color, but they're basically I think they had it with their French naval set. And so they're using it for this as well, but you put it there, put the elastic around. Super great set. Pays a very great deal of, it's an homage piece to what the USMC sets look back in the time, and with the introduction of a new weapon piece as well. All right, so that is that set. This is the version 1 USMC set, and then they did kind of more of a deluxe USMC set, which is the last one we'll talk about here. Now this set, again, like I said, the packaging is the same. It has the version 1 uniform on the back, it has the clear window in the front. But this one differs just a little bit in that the uniform is different. Instead of having the vintage repro style uniform, they decided that they were going to do the time appropriate USMC frog pattern. Just to rehash the USMC frog camouflage color, later on it was known as the duck hunter camouflage color. That was duck hunter camouflage pattern. That was because this initially was only for the United States Marine Corps, but then it became commercially available for people that started using that pattern, and a lot of duck hunters were using it, hence the reason they're calling it duck hunter camo. When you look at a land adventurer, a 1970s land adventure, that is more of what you would call duck hunter camouflage. It's more of a brown color, whereas this is a green color, and they call it frog. In Vietnam, they use another. They also called it Beogam, Beogam. But this is virtually identical to the earlier USMC set. They have the same cut, has the same chevrons, and it has the USMC on the pocket, and it has the same buttons. And the pants are exactly the same as well. Very simple design, got the snaps, and then it has the pockets right there as well. And as I stated earlier when I was talking about the Tom Stone set, it's pretty much the exact same. It's the exact same fabric, and it's almost the exact same cut, except with the Tom Stone set, it does not have the USMC, nor does it have the vintage style buttons. The other parts of this set, though, include, as we mentioned previously, the Thompson submachine gun, the spats or leggings, gamashin, whatever you want to call it. I just lost the other one. You have your harness, your webbing. This is a rubberized webbing. It's very, very nice, very flexible. Then you have your boots. And then once again, you have your helmet. And again, like I said, this is more of a U.S. paratrooper helmet. I don't know why they used it, but I will say this. If you want it to be a little bit more accurate, you can buy this. And if you want to buy our helmets, we offer the USMC helmet with the camouflage, or we also offer the U.S. Army helmet that has no camouflage whatsoever, but it does have the more accurate elastic chin strap. And just save this for later, because I have a sneaking suspicion that they're probably going to release a U.S. Airborne 101st or an 82nd Airborne. And I also have a sneaking suspicion that Cotswold might be releasing an Airborne figure and the same version as the Action Man version, which is distinctively different from a lot of the previous releases. So that basically sums up these three great sets. Make sure that you check out the Captain Cosmos section that we have. You can also search under GICAP with the dash on it. That's GICAP for Captain Cosmos. And you can see all the other products we carry from them. We carry other uniform sets. We're hoping soon to be carrying their bodies, their muscle bodies that they're about to release commercially. We also sell almost every color iteration of these harnesses, as well as berets and guns and such like that. But great company. They're supporting the hobby, and we appreciate that. And that's the reason why we're bringing you into the United States. But that sums up today's presentation of that. Check in next week when we'll do a new presentation dealing with vintage reproductions. And until then, keep collecting.